Hey guys, so I'm going to try to show you an example while I tell you a little bit about informative writing. So, this school year, we actually have already learned about informative writing, but we're at the time of the school year where we start reviewing some things. So, we've been working on opinion pieces for a couple weeks now, two or three, and you guys are doing a nice job telling me what you think and then supporting it with your reasons. This is a little bit different. As you recall, informative papers have facts. So not what you think, but what is actually true. So first thing you're going to want to do is you are going to need to read or listen to some stories on Epic. You don't have to use Epic, but is a nice tool that we have and that we used when we did our informative writing back in January. So I looked at Epic and I found two stories on monarch butterflies. So one of them I read and one of them I listened to. And the nice thing about Epic is it will offer books that are at specific reading levels. So if you think about our reading groups in school, what level you were at, and if you don't remember, you can always send me a dojo or call or text, and I will help you figure out what level you were in the beginning of March. So after I read one book and listened to another on Epic, I scribbled down some facts and then I organized them. So when we write our paper, the first thing we have to do is introduce the topic. So the person reading it, which will be me, knows what I'm getting ready to read about. So my first sentence says, have you ever heard, I don't know how these markers work. Have you ever heard of monarch butterflies? I'm going to tell you some interesting facts about these beautiful flying insects. So now as the reader, you know that I'm going to tell you interesting facts about flying insects called monarch butterflies. And I have started with a transition word, to begin. I just drew a line through it. To begin, monarchs are orange with black lines and white spots. So there's my first fact. It's not, I think they're pretty, I think they're cool. It is a fact about monarch butterflies and what they look like. They fly or migrate thousands of miles each fall to Mexico or California. So that was another fact. They do this because they can't survive cold winters. So there's a third fact. Now I have another transition word, and I'm not sure why I didn't put transition words with all those facts, but sorry. Also, monarch caterpillars can only survive on the milkweed plant. It is difficult for them to find this plant. So I've given you another fact about monarch butterflies and what the caterpillars can eat and how it's difficult for them to find that plant. So my third and final fact about butterflies is going to start after the transition word, finally. You don't have to use these transition words. You guys are so clever, you can come up with your own, but these are kind of the standard that a lot of kiddos use. Finally, monarch butterflies use the sun to guide them when they migrate. I thought that was a super cool fact. Then I wrote, I think they are better at directions than me. So that was just kind of me being a little bit silly, and I like it when you add some character to your stories. It doesn't just have to be fact 1, fact 2, fact 3, but you can kind of add your own flair to it. So even though that is my opinion, it was related to the fact that they can find their way from Ohio to California or central Mexico without a map, without GPS. They use the sun. And I thought that was so much better than me finding my way around. I get lost with all those tools. So I had an introduction. I had 3 facts. And I knew that I was going to tell you a fact because I used transition words. And now my reader's going to know I'm finished because I'm going to finish with a conclusion. And this conclusion, I did a hope. Like, I hope Sometimes we restate our beginning. I'm going to tell you some interesting facts about these beautiful flying insects. I could restate that and say, I hope you enjoyed these facts about these beautiful flying insects, but I said, I hope you have learned a new fact about these fascinating creatures. So, when you write your informative paper this week, remember the first thing you need to do is know some facts about them. So, you can't just sit down and write about monarch butterflies if you don't know anything about them. When you choose the book to listen to on Epic, you can choose cars, motorcycles, insects, any animal you want. But I think it's easier to write if it's more specific. Like if I just write about insects, it might be a little trickier, but if I pick one specific insect, it could be easier to find facts. So go on Epic, in the search bar, type in something you're interested in. And again, it could be a person. We did people in our classroom. It could be a place. It can be an animal, a machine, pretty much whatever you want. I can't wait to read your writing. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask me, text me, call me, dojo me, email me, whatever you want. But don't knock on my door. Bye, guys.